Thank you, Unity Band. Thank you so much. Well, good morning. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum. I want to welcome you here on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend. So glad that you're able to join us. If you're here for the first time, I hope you received some popcorn on your way in, because we truly appreciate you popping in to share some time with us. And for those of you online, thank you for joining us. If you're live, leave something in our chat. And if you're watching us in simulated live, in other words, not at 10:30 on Sunday, you can always send me an email and just say hi. We love to connect with you. We do have a lot of prayer support if you have any concerns or celebrations. Our prayer box is over there. Our prayer station is a little incapacitated right now, as it's gone around the corner as we set up for our big art display that's opening on Friday. Hope you can come on out. So the work is just getting set up there. And also, we've been celebrating Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It's also Mental Health Awareness Month. So as we end this month, and how appropriate on Memorial Day, where we have so many service people that have come back that are dealing with mental health issues from their experiences. And all of us, we call it neurodiversity in our inclusion team, talking about neurodiversity and different challenges that we may be meeting. So just to be more aware of all the different states of mind and heart around us, and to be kind. And with that, let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. And this comes out of a vision where we see a world powerfully transformed through a growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening, not silos, but this wonderful awakening where we're not judging people what path they're on, where they are on their path. We're just accepting and embracing where everybody is. So let us affirm together: the enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us, the compassion of the Christ moves through us, the power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us, the presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. So as we come together now, let's do it even more synchronously as we sing together. Greg is going to lead us. Thank you.
I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. It is great. It is good. It is perfect. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. It is great, it is good, it is holy. Oh, your presence, oh, your presence. I can feel it, I can feel it. Oh, your mercy, oh, your mercy. It is great, it is good, it is perfect. Oh, your presence, oh, your presence. It is great, it is good, it is holy. Oh, your presence, oh, your presence. And I know in my body you reside. And I know I am breathing in your life. And I know I am seeing through your eyes.
And so as you feel the presence of each and every one of us here, feel the presence of that oneness. What a great time to go into prayer. And since it is this Memorial Day weekend, and this is certainly a time that we remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, I do want to honor those that have served here in our community. If you've served, if you'd like to stand up, I know we have a couple that have been in service. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm still trying to figure out, I mean, we know that war doesn't bring peace, and still trying to figure out why we celebrate this weekend with the sounds of battle. I would love us to come up with a new way of celebrating. I like the drones making the lights in the sky, or, anyway, that's just my thing. One thing, I read this quote, and it struck me as so pertinent for this weekend. It was written by Richard Goodrich in his book called Slaying Dragons. And he said, on this day, take time to remember those who have fallen, but on every day after, do more. Put the freedom they died for to greater and nobler uses. So let's just take a few moments to remember all those that shed blood, sweat, and tears for us, to protect our democracy, that held a vision of a higher good, whether it be our initial freedom from England those many centuries ago, the war that split the country in the 1800s so that we could set aside the old ideas of bondage and overage, to come up with a new appreciation of what freedom really means. Up through the First and Second World Wars, the war in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and the ongoing turmoils of our world. Behold those brave souls, men and women, who stepped forward so courageously, not because they knew us as individuals, but because they held this high, high value of peace and freedom. We bless these souls, we bless their families, we bless the peace. And so it is. Amen. And so I thought it might be appropriate today for a little discussion question for a couple minutes at the table. Which freedom do you cherish most? And which do you exercise the most? Which freedom do you exercise the most of all these things people have died for, made these huge sacrifices for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
That was the same one I was going to say. I got a big mouth.
And I do practice that one a fair amount because, I don't always keep my opinions to myself. I do feel passionately about some things. I'm a little more selective about who I spout off to, but anyway,
Yeah,
what about
that's a
you?
great
You
gift.
said
I mean, freedom of speech came up. There's also, freedom of movement. We have these 50 states that we can move about freely. We don't have checkpoints to go through. And God, freedom of choice, of supply. I mean, think of the grocery stores we have. We walk in, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy milk yesterday, half and half for the kitchen. And there's this whole wall of milk choices.
Yeah.
From, goat and almond and high fat and no fat and all
there
that.
are plenty of cities where it's like a food desert, where
Yeah.
they don't have an ability to buy healthy food.
Or countries where there's only one choice on
Yeah.
the shelf, take it or leave
Right.
it.
If any.
Yeah, if it could be bare shelves too.
Yep.
So, wow, we
Wanna-
have a lot.
Want to sing?
Yeah, let's sing. Let's
Okay.
welcome
Okay.
everybody here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Oh, my soul is welcome here. A few more times. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
I'm standing at a Chris Janson height right now, so it seems like I'm a little shorter. Anyway, good morning. I'm Jeff Benoit, and I'm your board vice president. And Unity's daily word is comfort, inspired by Jesus' word to Matthew. Blessed are those you mourn, for they shall be comforted. When someone dear to us transitions, we may feel fearful and alone. We do not hide from our feelings or seek to numb them, even if we attempted. Grief has come to pass, and it cannot pass until we acknowledge and feel it. Opening to all our hearts, we feel a presence far stronger than pain. Even in the deepest grief, divine love strong within us, lifting us, making our feelings bearable. As we feel comforted by this love, we become increasingly aware of the peace and strength in our hearts. Even in our grief, we are grateful to trust the healing comfort of divine love. It blesses us today and will be an ongoing presence as we need it. Our love for those we lost is eternal and unchanging, just like God's love for us. Let us affirm together, I am comforted by the embrace of divine love. Okay, besides being Asian Heritage Month, May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. The great comedian Robin Williams shocked his fans when he died of suicide in 2014. It was hard to conceive that America's funny man died by suicide, suffering from severe depression. Robin encouraged us to provide comfort to one another. He said, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind. Being kind is a perfect way to express the divine love that can give comfort to all of us. And now, introducing our own Carrie Kemp, who's going to share her musical talents.
So the song that I'm singing, if I can get this up. Cool. All right. So the song I'm singing, I've cried over like 15 times. It took me a minute to sing it. Okay. I'd like to imagine if your ancestor or God or if your loved one was just looking over you and just saying this to you. happiness was a tangible thing, it would be you. If you had told me the feeling you'd bring, I think it untrue. And people search for a wonder like you all of their lives. You still amaze me after all this time. You pull me in like some kind of wind, mesmerized by the hold I'm in. Leave you here, I don't wanna, I wanna promise as one does. I will protect you at all costs. Keep you safe here in my arms. I will protect you at all cost. At all cost. What's pain when I look at you? No way I could explain you, even if I try to. I'll never dream like I used to do. If someone tried to hurt you, I don't see how that could happen. I fight for you in ways I couldn't imagine. Felt this, no, I haven't. I don't. It would be alright to stay here right beside you and promise as one does. I will protect you at all costs. Keep you safe here in my arms. I will protect you at all cost. At all cost. If you're ever feeling like you're lost, I'll come find you. Men on fronts, I just want to walk across, be right by you. Not just once, here and now, I swear on my response, I'll remind you and promise as one does. I will protect you at all costs. Keep you safe here in my arms. I will protect you at all costs. At all costs.
No, we're going to bring you up later. It's my turn now. That's okay. I was getting very confused there. Okay, I have an idea for you to contemplate this morning. A couple things I read. You know, some things you read and you don't. It seems like there's something that getting your attention. You're not quite sure what it was. That we all live a life of 1,000 deaths. You know, the number of things that end, that die in our lifetime. And then I read another quote, and I'm going to let you fill in how you think this ends. Death is life's way of telling you, choice A, you're fired, or choice B, you've lived. Death is the way of life telling you that you've lived. And, you know, we've been on this healing series now for a couple weeks, and I always get to have an experience of the healing, and this week being, you know, why we don't heal and how you can. And I want to tell you a tale of two tales. A couple weeks ago, I was out in my backyard getting ready to water some flowers, put them in the ground, and this little tiny creature ran across my foot, and it stood between my feet for safety because my dog had come out into the backyard. It was a little red squirrel. Red squirrels have 4 babies in a litter. And a couple of days before, we had found a dead one, and we didn't see any other ones around, so this was the last surviving baby squirrel. It was after 5 o'clock at night, so none of the rescue places around here were open. So we finally found, about 7 o'clock, we found a rescue place, because I didn't know what to feed a baby squirrel. Do you know? Watermelon, in case it ever comes up, and after that, apples and stuff, because they have fluid and nutrients in there. I was trying to feed it cat food, and that picture there with the cat dish, you can see how tiny this baby is, and the fact that it's surviving. So we drove down to Ottawa Lake, which is about 100 and some miles from here, to this incredible rescue center. It's now very dark around in the woods, and met a wonderful person who brings in everything. She had incubators for the baby. And so this little baby squirrel, who probably had hours to live, is now thriving and living his happy life down in Ottawa. And then this week, we have a wonderful little puppy, Corey. He's 2 years old in March. And Wednesday, I took him to the vet for a checkup, and we took some blood work, and we found out that he had histiocytosis carcinoma, and he passed yesterday at 2 years old. So why does the squirrel live and the dog die? Why does the wild animal who's lost its mother find this new home, and this wonderful puppy who had a great community training him and loving him leave us so soon? Boy, those are questions we always deal with, right? Why? Why? Some things we can rationalize, other things just seem so unfair. You know, unfair was a word that came up a lot yesterday. And thank God for MSU. They have a wonderful veterinary emergency clinic there. So as we continue on this program on healing, inspired certainly by Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore, who found really a way of changing her consciousness, her mind through prayer, to heal herself and help other people heal themselves. And Carolyn Miss, who is more recent, has written some great books on this. It really gives you some different perspectives. So today we're going to talk about why we don't heal and how we can, maybe. And Unity has a basic principle that says, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. We were actually talking about this at Quest this week. That thoughts held in mind, and when we're talking about mind, the mind here is your mind and your heart, your intellect and your emotions. It doesn't just work with a passing thought. It has to be held in mind, held within your energy, your emotions. It's just something that you own. We start becoming a magnet to attract the same kind of vibration, and even we create the vibration that sends it out into manifest and show up in our life. Well, back in 2005, Time magazine did this great article about pain, the elusive pain relief. And probably all of us have been in pain, physical pain at some time, pain that would cause you to swear like a sailor, you know, and sometimes it's a little one. How about the paper cut? I mean, the toothache. But then there's those other things, back pains, feet pains, headaches. I mean, you name it. We've had all kinds of pain. And we're out there. When we get a pain, it really, we think, okay, this just means, this is just something that comes with this condition. This is just something that's kind of a side effect. But it really can be a health issue of its own. You know, people that even have chronic pain, it impacts your mental health. Chronic pain physically and chronic pain emotionally impacts our method. We look for this pharmaceutical salvation, that if we take the right pill, that we can somehow change the pain, cover it up. But we know what that is. That may be a healing of the symptom, but it's not a cure of what's causing it as we go along. So really what we need is a holistic solution. We need multidisciplinary. Just as there is no one answer, no one right path to heal anything, or as far as that, you know, ways to lead our life, it usually takes a collection of things to help move us past any condition that we're in. So holistic healing really involves so many different disciplines. It involves often lifestyle changes, but of course, who likes to change? I'll just keep doing it the same way, let's find another one. So we go down, medical therapy, we go to the doctors and, you know, get advice from them and see how that works. And then we might do some physical therapy. You know, something to change in our body to help either the pain or the other condition. Mindfulness therapy, starting to realize that we need to relax. You know, stress is one of the biggest illness makers that there is, and we might visualize to help calm us down, to reduce that stress, to help us relax. And then there's all kinds of alternative therapies from acupuncture, supplements, hot and cold presses, visualizations, affirmations. So it's not like any singular one of these things, but it's having the right balance of all these different pathways that can help us express a greater joyful state of health, if you will. Now, I had this revelation over and over and over again. Every time I look at all those displays of what holistic healing is, holistic health, about it's your whole lifestyle, it's everything that you do. But each of us is the only one that can heal our body. Everything else is just a support. It's like having a friend cheering you on as your cheerleader. I thought of it kind of like you write the essay and then you hit spell check, right? So we write the lifestyle that we're living and then we're hitting spell check saying, okay, where can I rebalance this? Where can I say it better? Where can I do an improvement? Where did I make a mistake I didn't even realize was a mistake? So that's the kind of help everybody else is. All of our medical professional alternative therapies, it's just helping us, supporting us on that right track to express the greatest amount of healthiness that we can within our body. And we're always healers. All of us are healers. We are sitting in a room of healers. Every single one of you here has been healed of something. Some things. I can't believe any of you have only been healed of one thing. You know, we have all been sick, and now we're not. As simple as that. I mean, but boy, sometimes I don't feel like a healer. I'm doing seasonal allergies now. Sucks. I keep going, what am I allergic to in my environment? What is that grinding thing? What am I coming up against? And maybe that's not it. Maybe it's, you know, I'm ready for it to be revealed at any time. Let me just put it that way, and hopefully I will see it. But in Unity, we often start with little things to change that mindset. You know, it's very common to say, I caught a cold. I caught an allergy. Well, we know that in Unity, when we first start getting on this metaphysical thinking and speaking, we didn't catch a cold. We caught a cleansing. Our bodies to get rid of all that snot and all the stuff that our body no longer needs. We get it, that this is a process to make us better than we were before we caught the cold. Our body gets to have this experience to bring us to a different point in our life. So this idea of healing is really a process. We're in process all the time. And the end goal is to have a greater expression of life-supporting health. I mean, we always have a state of health, but we want life-supporting health. We want life to be as comfortable physically as it can be, mentally as it can be. We want to have an ease and grace about being human. Just being able to have this great appreciation and enjoyment of life. But in our ego, that which thinks they can control everything, we have this belief that there are some illnesses that are scary big dragons. Histiocytosis sarcoma, the big scary dragon for me. You say cancer, you know, and what happens? When you hear that word, what happens? Do you feel your body kind of clench up, shutting off the very life force that you want to move through you? Were you told that, you know, one of your organs, my mother never had congestive heart failure. She had congestive heart condition. She refused to call it a failure. And she lived many years with that condition because of how she was thinking about it. So Carolyn Myss talks about this idea of woundology, that when we give certain illnesses more power, my dad died of a yada yada at this age. So when you're that age, you start looking for symptoms of that very thing your father died of at that age, right? I mean, it's our ego, human nature, to start looking at those things, that big scary dragon out in the woods that's going to come get us when we least expect it. So Carolyn Myss is a medical intuitive. She has a way of tuning into people's bodies. And of course, the truth, I talked about this last week, we all are medical intuitives to our own body. We kind of know when something's off. We may not want to name it. We may want to pretend that we're not experiencing it or should have it checked out. We don't go to the doctors because, my God, they might give it a name. And then we have to admit there's some work we have to do. And who likes to make lifestyle changes? Right. Boring. So think about it. How are we defining our lives? Are we defining our lives around our wounds? Emotional wounds? Genetic wounds that we think might be hiding within our DNA? Oh, do we define our life around the process of healing these wounds so we can move on? Not right or wrong. It's just how we want to live our life. I love this little drawing there carrying the suffering bag behind. And there's guilt around us sometimes if we're not suffering. And you see somebody else that is, you don't want to, why should we share the good stuff, right? Might make them feel bad. So really, really getting honest with ourselves about what's going on inside. How are we treating our wounds? Are we using them as a stepping stone to that next level of our expression of health? So there's some ways to, what happens is when we get into this woundology, we get stuck in the healing process. It's like going around and around a wheel, like Groundhog Day. And because we're so used to having this wound, we're so used to carrying that suffering with us, we can just keep recycling again and again and again, ad infinitum, until life tells you you're fired. Right? So the healing process is those things like really confronting those painful processes. It happened. You can either pretend you're not dealing with it, but you are because you know what happened, or you can face it. You remember when you were a kid? I don't know. Well, when I was a kid, I knew there were alligators that lived under my bed if I got out of bed when it was dark, and they would bite my feet off. And some of you may have had one of those in your closet, a monster or something that came out. Until you face it. One night I just had to get out of bed to go to the bathroom, and there was no alligator biting my feet off. So those painful processes, sometimes they even get bigger when we ignore them. And you finally take them out into the light of day. Courage. Oh my goodness, you're just this little tiny thing now. When it happened, it was like this big, but now, looking at my life, it's this thing, and I can face you, and I can work with you, and I can move beyond you. The other way is think about past traumas. Yes, it happened, and you don't have to live there. You don't have to live there. And how about those of us that see our wounds in other people? And if you haven't dealt with yours yet, you have a tendency maybe to stay away from those people. If you're dealing with addiction and you're pretending that you're not addicted, well, the last thing you want to do is be seen around people that are addicted. It's much easier to stand over here and point fingers. Look at them. Why don't they do something about it? For God's sake, can't they see how they're messing up their life? They should be like me. We don't deal with it. So as we're going through this unstickiness, you can find a lot of us just ignoring the situation. There's this book called Symphony of All Life by Douglas Hatch, and I want to give you some numbers today because we have each been given a massive amount of things to be responsible for. In our body are 5 octillion atoms in our body. 5 octillion. I can't even imagine them, but I'm going to help you imagine them today, okay? So if you took 100 little lentils or peas, I don't like peas, so I used hard beans here. Nothing against peas, just not for me. And say that's about 1 cubic inch, okay? So that's 100 lentils. If you had 1,000,000 lentils, this would fill your household refrigerator. Now you can still kind of visualize 1,000,000 lentils filling the refrigerator. Okay, so let's go up the next level. 1 billion levels would fill the entire house, attic and all, attic and cellar. That's 1 billion of these little tiny peas. 1 trillion would fill all the houses in town, in a small town. You still with me with visualizing this? 1 quadrillion would fill all the buildings in a large town. So that's a 1 with 12 zeros after it. That's a quadrillion. Remember, we're a 1 with 27 zeros after it. So we got a little ways to go here. So if you took this quadrillion peas, a quintillion p, that's 5, da-da-da. And if you look at the state of Pennsylvania, it's just kind of square, which makes it easier to measure, to make these kind of estimates. And you could picture a 4-inch pea storm. So there was 4 inches of peas all over the state of Pennsylvania. That would be a quintillion. It's getting a little harder to imagine, right? How about a sextillion? Sextillion. 4-inch pea storm covers the entire earth. Little peas. Septillion would cover 250 additional planets the size of Earth. And we're still not to the number of atoms that we have in our body. 5 octillion would require 1,250,000 planets covered with 4 inches of snowstorms of peas. And that's how many atoms you are responsible for in your bodies. Do you know where your children are? So when we have trouble healing, to think about the massive responsibility that we have. Thank God there is a wisdom of the universe that operates this for us. Because, I mean, even right now, all these things going on in our body, you know, kidneys, heart, lungs, all these organs doing all their things so beautifully. And that's not even getting down to the atomic level. So sometimes when we don't heal, I guess we missed a few of the kids. You know, they were out doing something and our vibrations, our love, our idea of health had not gotten to them yet. But it's important for us to do the work to help all that 5 octillion parts of us come into harmony. It's kind of like we're explorers. I'm going to give you a couple of explorers here. Christopher Columbus and Carl Jung, both explorers. Christopher crossed the ocean looking for India, found something else. And Carl Jung crossed the inner ocean of our mind. Think about it. An outer explorer and an inner explorer. So Christopher Columbus went out there to find treasure, to take new land. He went out there to conquer. Jung went inside to see if he could put all the pieces together to recognize the treasure that's already there. When Columbus got to the new land, he proclaimed, "This is mine. I claim this. This is mine." When Jung got to it, he was so humbled by his realization. He said, "I belong to this. I belong to this conscious, subconscious, superconscious. I belong to it." He got the immensity of it. Columbus, he searched outwardly with the intent to make a conquest, to overcome something. Sometimes that's the way we treat an illness, that we need to overcome it, we need to fight it, we need to battle it, we need to go to war with it and show who's boss. Where Jung, on the other hand, he just felt this undetermined love, just an immense love without boundaries when he reached the unconscious, understanding like that bottom part of the iceberg that we don't see. He just felt this deep, deep connection there. So if you think about it, Columbus was about separating and owning, taking that there's limited resources and owning it, taking it away from somebody else, you know, taking over the land, taking over what treasures you're going to bring back to the queen. Where Jung was about a sense of unity and belonging. Two very different kinds of exploring. So when we get to the point about why we don't heal and how we can, it's really a question, how are we approaching this? One of many questions we can ask ourselves, but for today, this is the question. Columbus is like entering a healing program like you're being punished. What did I do wrong? Why me? Why do I have to do this? Begrudging every step. It's like, it's this challenge that you're going to be the emperor of it. You're going to overpower it. You're going to show this thing its place in the world. It's not in you. There's this animosity that builds for it. And a resentment. Why should I have to take this time to do this and do that when, you know, I wasn't bothering anybody with my life. But if you go the Jungian approach, going into this, we think about our subconscious mind. For those of us that see auras or feel the energy of other people, thinking that our aura, everything that we experience goes into our subconscious mind and it emits this energy around us. Every thought we've had, every word we've said, every action. And then if you take it a step further, you understand that there's what we call race consciousness, the consciousness of everyone in the human race. And so besides all the electronics that we're experiencing that aren't necessarily from our thoughts and experiences going through our bodies, that every thought, word, and deed from every living being that has ever been on this planet has left a vibration. Wow. And that is a force that is always also acting upon us, that can be adopted by us as our thoughts if we're not careful where our thinking goes. And we've even found out now that generational trauma isn't just an emotional or storytelling thing. It is something that travels in our genes generation to generation. 20 generations ago, something might have happened to your ancestor that you are still experiencing the traumatic pain from today. Not to be overcome, but to be healed. So, I want to bring up one other little thing that sometimes keeps us from healing. And this is a great little analogy I just love from Kate Dawson. She has this group called Nowism. Okay, so if you go to the dictionary, a pet is a domestic or tamed animal that we keep for companionship or pleasure, right? We feed our pets, we look after it, we love it. Okay. A peeve is a cause or annoyance, right? So is a pet peeve a tamed annoyance kept for companionship or pleasure? Is there anyone here that does not have a pet peeve? And I will tell you this, that if you keep feeding your pet, it will stay around. yeah. So anyway, just a little thought there. I think when we get to this part of our healing process, we're really into Unity's fifth principle, which says, we do all the work. We understand there is only one power and presence that includes within us, that our thoughts are creative and formative, that prayers work, and then you need to do something with it. You need to walk your talk. You need to take that step. You need to do what is yours to do. And Mahatma Gandhi wrote this about it, and I thought this was a perfect way to kind of express Unity's fifth principle. He said, the action, not the fruit of the action, that's important. You have to do the right thing. It may not be in your power, may not be in your time that there'll be any fruit. That doesn't mean you should stop doing the right thing. You may never know what results come from your action. If you do nothing, there'll be no result. And yesterday when I left MSU and we left Corey behind, we knew we did the right thing, as painful as it was. But more than that, the fruit of the action of doing the right thing will go on to allowing him to be autopsied by vet students and people studying the breed. And I just got thinking how he'll live on in new generations of vets that will go to help heal another puppy, maybe even help heal a human. As we study, these things aren't in silos. They have a way of carrying us forward. In the same way with us, we may do the healing work, but we know that the true healing is always internal. So even if we don't get the fruit of physical wholeness in this lifetime, we have contributed to that raised consciousness out there, a sense of vibration, of love, of healing, of wholeness that may go on to heal somebody we have never met, has not even been born yet. So it's always time to do the work, We're going to do a little work now by going into meditation. So I just invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable. Maybe, shake out your shoulders a little bit. Any little pet peeves hanging on there. Just take a deep breath and move into that solace. Become that inner explorer. To know that beyond our consciousness, there is more than we can ever imagine. Beyond that with which we are conscious is this immeasurable collection of thoughts, words, and deeds that we have experienced, that our ancestors have experienced, that other humans have added to this collective cause. As we reach that internal space, that soulful space, we do so as an explorer committed to looking inward for that greater sense of harmony, that greater sense of belonging, that greater sense of unification of all the individuated expressions of God itself. Appreciating the differences, recognizing the interactions, and celebrating the beauty of the cosmos within. We go forth this day in memory of those who have passed before, but awakened to the calling that it is our time to do the right thing, beginning with our own internal work. So let us just take a moment to allow that process of moving ever deeper to the truth of our being, ever more intimate with our health and wholeness, ever more into the peace which passes all understanding. In that very powerful space beyond words, greater than we can imagine, we do so filled with courage as we are gentle with ourselves, kind with ourselves, resting in that comfortable embrace of divine love. And so it is. Amen.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child.
Thank you. Okay, spiritual practice for the week. Choose which type of explorer you're going to be this week. There's no right or wrong, there's just different paths. The outer explorer, the conqueror, or the inner explorer, the unifier. It's a little PS, stop feeding your pets. Peeves. Okay, and with, with that, we're going to invite Carrie back up here to Don't Stop Reading. Is that right on that? Yeah. Come on, Carrie. Read all about it. That's what, yeah.
All right, how many of you do karaoke? Okay, cool. When you see the yellow part, I need you guys to chime in. Cool.
You got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. You spent a lifetime stuck in silence, afraid you'll say something wrong, and no one ever hears it. How we gonna hear your song? So come on, come on, come on, come on. You got a heart as loud as lion, so why let your voice be tame? Baby, look a little different. There's no need to be ashamed. You got the light to fight the shadows, so stop hiding it away. Come on, come on. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. So putting it all on the papers, I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. No, and now we're waking up the neighbors while we sing away the blues, making sure that we're remembered, yeah, 'cause we all matter too. Then we're breaking all the rules, so come on, come on. I wanna scream, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words come out. All on the paper, I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. No, oh, 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 yeah, we're all wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? And now we're finally finding our voices. So take a chance, come help me sing this. Yeah, we're all wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? And now we're finally finding our voices. So just take a chance, come help me sing this. I wanna sing, I wanna shout,
That was wonderful. Now is the time we create a sacred circle of generosity by sharing the blessings we have received. We know that the gift we give is not a debt we owe. It is a seed we sow from a consciousness of abundance. If you are donating by check or cash, place your gift in the glass jar on the table. If you are donating electronically or by other means, take a moment to place your hand over the jar or your heart. You can also use one of the affirmation tokens. We bless our gifts as we share our love and our treasure by affirming together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Entering the circle of generosity, we thank everyone for their continued generosity of support of Unity through many channels, electronically, by mail, and in person. Our circle of generosity includes acts of gratitude for these many gifts by sharing our gifts with others. You, as a congregation, voted to share our tithes for the second quarter with the Southside Community Kitchen, a group of local organizations who have gotten together to feed the hungry people of Lansing. We'll continue acknowledging our blessings by singing, I Am So Blessed.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude before me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Greg. Derek, would you come on up and lead us in the blessing of the gifts we have received as a community? And while he's well, so I'll read this part first. Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts received on your table. Derek, would you please lead us in the blessing on the screen?
Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to the will and the work of Holy Spirit, and so it is.
Thank you. A true Sonic fan there, all right. The Super Suppers group is gathering the third Wednesday of each month at a local restaurant, and that's this week. May 26, you are invited to join them at Leo's Lodge on Jolly Road for a no-host dinner. It is helpful to contact Maggie Bishop or the church office if you are planning on attending to help us reserve enough seats. and that's at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. This Friday is the grand opening of our art and photography gallery as part of the Passion of the Creative Mind events in June. Passion of the Arts, all right. Gallery will be open from 3 to 7:30 p.m. And, pardon? Okay, we'll make it 8:30 then. Better yet.
This Friday? Told me on the phone. Anyway.
We won't kick you out till 8:30, how's that? And there will be a reception from 6 to 7 or 7 to 8. Come out and support our local artists. Just come on, we'll figure it out when we get here, huh? Yeah. Okay. Next Sunday, June 2nd, following Sunday service, Reverend Sharon is offering the Unity 101 class, which explores the Unity movement as well as our local center. Class will gather in the activity room. This is a great class for anyone new to Unity and a requirement for anyone wishing to become a member. I've been to, okay. It is next Sunday?
Yep.
Yep. What did I say? Okay. I've been to several of these, and I find them fascinating every time. I mean, always picking up something. So it's well worth your time if you're wanting to become a member. Come to that, or if you just want to share information you already know would be helpful. The new June edition of the Unity Pulse is on your table. Please take one to use as a handy reference of all that's being offered at Unity during the month. Event information is also on the information rack as well as on our website, unitylansing.org. And now let's stand as we are able to create our circle of consciousness as we sing the peace song, followed by the prayer of protection. A reminder that holding hands is optional, so check in with each other before grabbing another's hand. Today, however, we're going to affirm our prayer of protection. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead again.
You had one job, Chris.
There's a little more there, so that's what I got. But we're good. Yeah, we're right.